Hello, and welcome back to a new you, where I help twin flames to heal and to master thyself along thy twin flame journey. My name is Rubylee B, and I am your self-mastery coach. And if you are on a twin flame journey, and if you are in separation from your twin at the moment, and if you want some support along your twin flame experience, I want you to click that bell and become a subscriber to a new you, for a new you has been created just for you. And so today I want to talk about what is too much truth. Listen, as I am embracing my darker feminine energy, my darker feminine side, one of the things that I have discovered and have experienced is that sometimes you can live so much in your truth that you can become dangerous. You can become a threat to other people when you're living so much in your truth that you don't know how to bite your tongue when you need to bite your tongue. You don't know how to not express certain things that needs to be kept to yourself. Prime example, I am working with this lady. I am training this new lady that just started at my job, and she operates and what I call the fullness of her truth, and she's brutally honest, and she takes everything, she takes life way too serious. She takes herself way too serious, and she takes other people way too serious, right? And she operates so much in her truth that she doesn't realize, and nor I don't think that she understands that there's a game that you must play within this job if you want to keep your job. If you want to keep your job, if you want to keep making the money that you're making, if you want to keep your position and keep your hours and keep the benefits that sometimes you got to keep your mouth shut, right? And so she's a new person, and so nobody really knows her just yet. And so what she's doing is that the people that she's training with, she's telling them how to do their job. She's telling people who have been on their job for 15 years, 3 years, 4 years, a year. She's telling them that they don't know how to do their job, and they're not doing their job right according to how she was trained and what she was taught. And it has gotten to a point where nobody really wants to work with this lady. Nobody really wants to train her. I think I'm probably one of the few, and probably the only one, that has learned how to tolerate her, and that's because I can see her truth. I can see. And so I, genuinely like talking to the lady. She is a joy to talk to. I say that she is a reflection of myself. I see myself in her, and I say she is that exaggerated version of myself, right? Right? She is operating so much in her truth that she take herself and life and the job that she currently has way too seriously, that she's not realizing that there's a game that you must play here. And I remember last weekend and go having a conversation, and she mentioned, you know, all of these mind games, and I'm like, yeah, that's just kind of how it goes, right? You know, and you know, it's kind of how it goes, and it's kind of how it is, right? All right, and ooh, why did I do that? Okay. And like I said, you know, I'm trying to explain the game to her as much as possible, trying to help her along her journey, help her to keep her job, because I'm like, if she continues to walk around telling people that they don't know how to do their job, and she's, you know, like, they're gonna run her up out of there. They're gonna run her up out of there. They're gonna run her up out of there, right? And the lady told me that she's so grateful, thankful, and she loves this job, and you know, compared to where she came from, this is lovely. It's a joy. And I'm like, well, if you want to keep your lovely hours, right? If you want to keep your 3-day-a-week hours that you get a chance to work, if you want to keep your good pay, then you got to keep your mouth shut. You know, observe the people doing their job right, but make sure you do it right. You know, I'm like, you don't always have to voice and tell people that they're not doing what they've been doing for years wrong. They're not going to respect you because they don't know you. You know what I mean? And the lady is literally burning bridges with people, and she doesn't even know it, because she operates so much in her truth that she doesn't know that she is borderline on her way up out of there, and she has no idea. No idea. Because she doesn't know how to play the game. Okay? And so that is what I call living in your truth so much, right? That you begin to sabotage the opportunities around you, right? Sabotage relationships because you're living so much in your truth. And understand, when you're living so much in your truth, you will become a threat to people. You know? And should you care? Yes and no. Right? You should care enough to make sure you keep yourself safe. You know? Or understand the risk that you're taking by operating so much in your truth. Understand that, hey, this could put me in a position of being in this situation. You know? And so yes, and so I am all about living in my truth. That's one of the things that I speak about on my channel, is discovering your truth, honoring your truth, living in your truth. But understand that sometimes the truth can become too much for people to handle. You know? People don't want to hear about themselves. When people don't want to hear about themselves, people don't want to hear the truth about themselves, nor are they ready to hear the truth about themselves when they're not seeking the truth for themselves. Let me say that again. People who are not seeking truth for themselves are not going to be ready to receive it from you nor anyone else. They're not going to be able to hear it. They're not going to be able to respect it. You know? People who can respect the truth is a person who has already discovered and know their truth. Right? And so we do live in a fake reality, unfortunately, and there's a lot of fakeism. And one of the things that I have discovered and realized along my journey of ascension and awakening is realizing how fake the world is, right? The more real I become, the more fake I realize it is out here in the streets. And my uncle used to always told me, he used to try to preach to me when I was teenager, that, this is fake, that ain't real, Niecy, this ain't real, Niecy, that ain't real, it's all a game, Niecy. Like, he used to try to break it down to me. And of course, when you're young, you don't understand. But now I understand what it was that he was teaching me in my young teenage and even young adult age, right? And so the lady that I'm training, I understand her. That's why I could tolerate her, even though she does get on my nerves. But I understand her because she is who I used to be. I used to be that person that take life way too seriously, that took myself way too seriously, that take things way too seriously. Right? But now I'm learning how to play and how to have some fun and how to relax. And realizing that it doesn't take all that, it's not all that, And so, yes. And so, are you taking yourself way too seriously? Are you taking your life way too seriously? Are you taking your position, your career, your business way too seriously? That you're choking the life, like that you literally are choking the life out of the experience? Are you operating so much in your truth that you don't know when to keep your mouth shut? You don't know when to keep some things to yourself because you want to be real and operating so much in your truth that it can become dangerous for you. So be careful in those streets if you are one of those persons that is operating too much in your truth. That you are very critical and judgmental of others. And that's the experience that I am experiencing with the lady that I'm training. She operates so much in her truth, so much in her authenticity. And the things that she's telling me and is trying to explain to me, she's like, am I right? I mean, yes, it's right. That's truth. But however, that's not how it goes in here. Okay. But anyways, yes. And so unfortunately, we do live in a reality where there is a game that you must play. And I'm sure you know this and have discovered this for yourself, but there is a game that you must play. There's a game that you must play if you want to make some money. There's a game, and guess what? The higher you go, the more you got to play those games. The more money you make, the greater the game plan becomes. The faker it gets, the greater the game plan becomes. Right? The faker you have to be in order to make the money that you want to make, in order to maintain the positions that you want to maintain. And so that is it for this video that is simply titled, What is Too Much Truth? Too much truth is you operating so much in your truth that you are destroying and self-sabotaging opportunities that you actually want, that you actually need. And so that is it. Thank you so much for watching. And if you like this video, click the thumbs up. Please leave comments in the feedback section, in the comment section. I want to hear from you. And Until next time, I will leave you in love. Bye-bye.